Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going?
Hey,
Happy Thursday. Is that what day it is?
it is Thursday. Yes.
I saw a post today on social media that was like, hey, since everybody's home, here's a reminder as to what day it is.
I think I saw that too.
Yeah. Um, I mean, this is kind of a tough one because usually with our shows, and we're still going to do this, but I feel like with our shows, we usually are like, yo, what up? How's it going? And I mean, I still feel that way, but I don't know, it's just kind of like a deep topic. This is something deep. I don't know, like everything has rapidly changed in a matter of a couple days to a week.
Right.
And we really just wanted to share what it's been like for us in an effort to show you that you're not alone if you're having some of the same thoughts, feelings, hangups, frozen, like all the different things. We wanted to share a little bit of that and then also share what we're doing too and what we have been doing. And some things have been successful and some things have not, and we're just keeping trying. So we want to share a little bit about that and what we're doing. And as you're jumping on, whether it's you're listening or you're live or you're listening to replay, tag some people and share this because we want to be able to provide something positive, be able to provide some inspiration for people because I don't know, I feel like now more than ever, people are glued to social media, Facebook, news, just like holding on and looking for answers.
Right.
Like everywhere. And we're doing it too. And it's almost like that in itself is kind of draining. So if this can be something to give you something to grasp onto.
No, I completely agree.
Is there anything else you want to add to like?
Add more as we get into it.
Okay. So, obviously this has been going on for a while and we are not the do all end all and we don't have all the answers. So just going to share from our perspective. Okay. So as it was coming into the weekend, we had heard some talks about it coming over. We were serious about it, but we were like, oh, we'll be fine.
Yeah, we honestly we kind of downplayed it.
Yeah, and two, I think, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, like went into those days, it was like, well, since we work from home, we kind of just keep to ourselves.
Right.
We went out to eat on Friday to PDQ. We went out to eat Saturday to Flippers. There weren't many people there. We weren't really around people. We didn't really think anything of it. And then on Sunday, my mom was like, oh, how's it going? She's been out of state. And we were like, oh, so we went out to eat. We did this and that. And she was like, smack down from miles away. She was like, what is wrong with you?
She I don't know what Jen read, but what I read was like, if y'all don't sit y'all asses down somewhere.
Yeah, so that's when we really started shifting and being like, okay, maybe we should look into this a little bit. So already we've been working really hard in launch mode, late nights, early mornings. Like we've been working hard for the Business Travelers Thrive Guide, creating it, content, copy,
everything.
There's so much with an online digital launch. Like if you guys have no idea what goes into a product that costs $37.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Okay.
Well, actually, let's rephrase that. A product that costs $37 that's packed full of value.
Yeah, that's got a value of like $400 or $500 or even more dollars. So I mean, it's got so much in it, and it's been a lot, right? So if I remember correctly, Sunday we really we kind of just started crashing on Sunday.
Yeah, definitely hit a wall.
Yeah, we hit a wall because we were already going hard. Everything was already like heavy, just already we were probably pushing burnout. And on Sunday we started looking into more and reading more about, okay, what the heck is this coronavirus?
Right.
I don't know if you felt the same way, but like for us, it was like, okay, I'm going to look into this and see what's going on. So we started reading different articles and started kind of like gaining a little bit more of an awareness going, oh crap, like this might be something we really want to pay attention to and see what this is all about.
Right.
And so.
And I want to jump in real quick.
Yeah.
Like we don't, a disclaimer, like, because we've talked to some people who have various opinions about what's going on. Like in front of this and behind the scenes, and we're not here for any of that. We're just want to talk to you guys as people who are looking for hope and finding some sanity in the situation. So we're not here for the politics. We're not here for the behind the scenes things. We want to use our platform to help you guys find some sense of normalcy in all this.
Right. And even I also with that, like, we're just sharing what our experience has been.
Right.
Yours may have been way different. You may have known about this way before us or way after. We're just sharing our experience and our timeline because this is real. And I would say that I would go on a limb and say that most of us have not experienced anything like this in our lifetimes.
Right.
Because this is the first time that I've experienced in my life where like everything is closed around me, right? Like we can't go anywhere. I mean, I'm being dramatic because you can do what you want, but you know, with bars and stuff like that closed and restaurants down to 50% capacity,
it's a huge change.
Sports leagues closed and gyms closed, and you know, some of the stores and the malls, and I mean, there's just so many things that are changing at such a rapid pace. I would just go on a limb and say, hello, this has probably never happened,
right,
or likely not happened to many of us in our lifetime.
Right.
And so, okay, so going back to Sunday, we were reading about it, and Jay and I were like, wow, okay, this seems serious. Let's tune in and listen. And, you know, I honestly, I hesitate in saying this by making myself, you know, whatever, look a certain way, but whatever it is, what it is. I don't currently get into like politics and watching press conferences and stuff like that. But on Monday, I did watch the press conference,
right,
because we were like, all right, what are they going to say and what's happening? So we did watch it on Monday, and we were trying to work so hard on Monday, and it was so tough.
Yeah.
Okay. And for us, it was definitely, gosh, it was, it was tough. Like we were like, we've been pretty good. We finally found ways to work together. We finally found ways to get in the flow. We had all the motivation, and we just could not find it. Could not find it. Monday was very difficult to find. Tuesday, even Wednesday, we started tapping into it a little bit, but it was still a little tough.
Yeah.
Today, we're tapping into it more, but it's still a little tough to like tap back into that focus.
I think one of the major things too is just like with our launch week supposed to be like next week, you know, and you put all this work into this thing, this.
Hold on. Did any of you just freak out that he touched his face?
If you did, calm down, please.
I'm just saying, because I don't know, do you find yourself like watching movies and shows and be like, oh my God, touch their face?
Calm down, please. If you did freak out, oh my God, I'll be fine, I promise. But you've been working so hard on this thing, you know, and this thing for this particular group of people to like wake up one morning and realize like the thing that you were working on is I'm not gonna say it is no longer important, but you know, it's like it's come to a snail's pace, mm-hmm. you know, because you know we were putting this thing together for business travelers, and right now a lot of business travelers are grounded.
Yeah.
You know, there are some people who still have to travel, but like for the majority, like our audience is basically on the ground right now. So you have to deal with the mental hangups around that, you know, like what am I gonna do? Like the doubts, the whatevers that go into that.
Because there's so much uncertainty.
Right.
You know, as news was rolled out, and of course, depending on where you live, the news rollouts have been different. You know, so it's like the news rollouts of where you live, and then the news rollouts of the nation, right? Like with different areas closing this and that, and things changing so fast. It's like, I don't know, I feel like as humans, we look for something we can like grasp onto.
Right.
Right. And when there's all kinds of uncertainty around us, it does throw our life off. And then add to that, like for us, we were already working from home. So some of our routine didn't change at all.
Right.
But for people who had a certain routine, at an office or shoot on the plane or, you know, like going around. Now you're like in your home and you're like,
what now?
What do I do?
Man, what now?
And I'll tell you that if you went from working in an office and now you're working at home and you're like freaking out trying to figure out how to do that, like just be patient with yourself, because even myself, I've worked from home my whole life, but work from home has also meant, you know, I was driving around different places, I was in hotels, I was in airports. So honestly, I have never really worked from home.
Right.
I've worked remote, and then working from home, it's tough. There are some things you have to adapt and learn to do. So just be kind with yourself if you're adjusting to these new situations, because guys, it's only been a couple of days. Like, you are not going to like change your life in a couple of days and have everything perfect.
It's a brand new dynamic, especially if you have a family, you know, your home, you know, your spouse is home. If you have children, the kids are home from school. So it's not only you being home, it's all these other dynamics and variables that's been added in all at once that you have to kind of, you're like, oh shit, what do I do? Because it's like one thing if I have to be home, but the kids still go to school. But you know, but now like everybody's home and you kind of got to deal, instead of like eating dinner together,
and your spouse or your partner,
and instead of just eating dinner together at like 6, you know, you're together all freaking day and you have to deal with all these different personalities all at once.
Yeah, there's definitely, you know, as positive as I like to think that I am, and I think that I am, but shoot, we're all human. Like, I've still kind of gone off in spins and wondered, oh my God, what's going to happen, right? Like going off into the future and trying to predict the future as to what's going to happen in our brains. It sounds silly when you say it out loud like this, but I feel like in our brains, you go off into the future and you predict what's going to happen. And you run 1,000 different scenarios and, oh my God, what about this? And what if I can't pay my rent? And what about if I can't do this? And what about if this happens? And what about if this crashes? And what about if I lose this? And what about if I lose that? I think that those are things that you can definitely be aware. You know, you're not going to just the things thoughts. That are thoughts, but the thing that I'm sharing with this is be mindful of those thoughts and don't focus on them. Right? Because if you focus on those thoughts and go down that path, it's going to create more and more stress and anxiety in your life, and it's going to freaking drive you crazy. On top of the fact of being in all the time, you have to look for ways to shift your thoughts and your energy around this. And look, the thing is you can be aware, but it's what you focus on is so important. So it's like I said, it's real simple. Like, I mean, we've gone there, because what happens, right? Like what we've done with like working, we'll like get ready to work and we're ready, and then I don't know, for me, this is what goes in my head. Oh, let me just check the news or Facebook one more time. I'm curious if anything new has come up. Right? So you haven't done that at all.
Nah, look, like for me, it's like this. The news isn't going to tell you anything like positive right now. I'm just being honest from my point of view. The news isn't going to tell you anything positive right now. People on Facebook with their different opinions, people reading different things, people talking to different people, that's going to be another can of worms right there. So my thing is to like, especially if I know I have to do something else, and those things draw you in. Because you look at one thing, then you look at something else, then you look at one thing, you look at something else, and then you turn on the news, and then like this has happened here, this has happened here. So as far as that, for me, no. Like what I
feel like we're just now getting to that, because we sat scrolling our phones and being like, oh my God, did you know this? Oh my God, have you heard this yet? And now we're just now getting to the place where it's like, oh my God, like I can't keep looking at this. I totally disagree, and it's okay, because we've sat here and looked at our phones. So you were just scrolling on something else? Then how come you would be like, oh, did you hear that XYZ happened? Because
it would be stuff I would just stumble on. I wouldn't be on Facebook just to scroll.
But that's my point. You get on there, and then because this is so in our like world, this is so in our face right now, you're going to get sucked in and look at some of that.
If you choose to.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. And I feel like that's what we are transitioning to, making the choice on how long you stay looking at some of that stuff versus before coming into this, we were a lot more sucked in.
Let's continue.
That's the point I'm trying to make, even though he's not admitting to it. I hope you guys are enjoying watching us, because this is real shit, guys. Like, these are the things that we're going through. We all have differing opinions on what's going on, right?
Right.
And the point I was trying to make is that's what we are focusing on moving forward. And Jay has focused on that since the beginning. Good job. And maybe you can.
Kind of condescending.
Well, because it's like, you're like, well, I never did that. Okay. Maybe you didn't do it as much as me, but I think that people are looking for answers and scrolling and looking and reading different things that you have to, now's the time to start switching and saying, okay, it's time to something different. Because if you notice what your energy's like, if you're spending a lot of time looking at the news and Facebook and scrolling and trying to find answers, then it's time to shift that energy. And Jay, why don't you tell us how you're able to, not do those things? Talk about how it's a choice and give some examples on how you can start to shift, because now's the time. You cannot spend all of your time looking at the news.
Well, stuff like that is going to cause you anxiety and raise your stress because nobody has an answer right now. Nobody will probably have an answer for a few weeks. Things have been shut down. Things are going to continue to get shut down, in my opinion. I honestly feel it'll probably get a little worse than it gets better. So that's the reality of the situation. So knowing that, you need to find things that are going to ease those anxiety. This would be a perfect time, although I feel this is going to get played out in a couple of weeks too, a perfect time to binge watch some of your favorite funny movies or some comedies on Netflix or stream those. Something that makes you laugh, talk to people and figure out what's going on, not having fear conversations, but people who make you laugh. Mm-hmm. So finding those things. I love animal videos. Find some videos of some kittens, some puppies doing some stuff, like the penguins walking around the zoos right now. If you're going to scroll, YouTube some of that stuff, some stuff that makes you go, wow, yeah, that's cool. Or the people in freaking Italy and Spain or wherever they are who are basically making music on their balconies despite being locked in their homes, so the reality is, yes, this is bad, for lack of a better word. Let's just call it ace of ace. This is bad for what it is. But for what it is, there's still a silver lining. The sun is still going to shine behind the darkest clouds. There's still hope. So to see those things, to put those things around, to listen to some of your favorite music that gets you upbeat, and I'm not just talking about songs that you're like, oh, that's a good song, but songs that make you move. No matter what mood you're in, you put on this song, you can't help but bob and start dancing. That's the stuff you need to start listening to right now. Mm-hmm. You need to get off of Facebook, get off of Instagram, and you need to start tuning in people who are talking positively about the situation. Because if you're around, just like a bad apple will ruin a bunch. So you can get in conversation and it can just go left, and then you're you start the scenario and the cycle all over again. So the thing is to surround yourself even before this stuff happens. This is what you should do if you're trying to reach a goal, if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to make X amount of dollars. You want to surround yourself with people who are going to support your goals. Mm-hmm. You're not going to be I need to lose 30 pounds and all your friends want to do is eat pizza.
Yeah.
Or, I'm trying to make $1 million and you hang around people who do nothing but borrow money all the time. Mm-hmm. No, you need to surround yourself, especially in times like this, with the people, with the things, with whatever the scenario is that is going to get you out of that mind state of fear and into a mind state of hope and joy
and love
and all that.
And I believe that with that, now's a perfect time to explore some of the other aspects of your life that maybe you haven't had time for, or maybe you've been curious about. And, one of the things that I'm really feeling right now is some of the energy around these different emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So I can feel when I feel like what I'm starting to notice is I am teetering on annoyed a lot more often than my normal.
Right.
And I know it's because of all of this, this news and uncertainty and all of these things that we're looking into and listening about and learning about, because it's there. Even if you take the break, it's still there.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, there's been so many times here just over the past couple of days that I have been like, oh my God, I'm so annoyed. And I'm finding it hard to focus. Like, we were actually writing the email for this and I was almost done, and then Jay put on a song, and normally that would not like throw me off so much, but I was like, oh my God, I can't think, I already had it. Like, and then I'm like so much closer to annoyance. And that's why what Jay said, and moving forward, it's like, from now on, I still want to be informed and educated, but I cannot be consumed and obsessed.
Right.
And being aware of like the energies that you feel in your body after you spend some time reading some of that stuff. Are you tapping more into those lower energies, like the fear and the worry and the concern and anxiety? Or are you finding ways to tap into the hope and love, like you said, and paying attention to how that feels? Because we were like, all right, like you said, it's the music. We put on the music in the songs, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's, we are definitely sticking to our workout and our wellness routine.
Oh, that's a must.
We have fully decided that this has to happen because it's something that is going to be super important. Because right now I feel like with everything being thrown off, now is time to get into a routine. If you don't have a routine, just pick a couple of things that help you, that are going to support you. One of them is staying active and getting moving.
Yep.
There's a lot of different ways to do that. We could do a whole live on that, or heck, you can go back to all of the videos or a lot of the videos that we've done before and watch those for lots of different ideas on how to get active. But having some kind of something like that in your life is going to help.
No, that's super, super important.
I really strongly believe in the meditation or the yoga aspect, because what's going to happen is when you get into a habit of meditating, and there's a lot of different ways you can do this. Once again, we've written articles, we have shared videos, we have all kinds of resources out there that you can go back and dig deeper. But if you use a guided meditation, or you do it on your own, or you do yoga, the point is with those types of things, they're going to help you to detach your thoughts. And what it does is it helps you realize that your thoughts are not you.
Right.
And it helps you tap into the peace and calm, so that when things come up, you're less likely to freak out. But it's always a work in progress. You're not going to have perfection through all of this. So be gentle with yourself as you're potentially learning new skills and trying out new routines, because you're not going to get it right on day one.
Or you're learning the things that trigger you, and you stop and you say, hey, that's whatever emotion or I'm feeling right now, I'm judging, I'm like, whatever, like this isn't me, stop, breathe, or whatever. Because with uncertainty, a lot of times you're just trying to kind of like push through, and like, I don't want to feel it right now, I'm just going to push through until it passes. This isn't going to pass for a while. It will pass eventually, but right now we have to deal with what's going on.
Yeah. And even so, like when you feel those emotions that aren't serving you, like earlier today, I was like, I am so annoyed. I was like, I have to stand up and break up this energy. Because like you said, if I push through it, it's just going to build. And then what's going to happen, right? Like, I'm going to keep snapping at you. You're going to get annoyed. It's going to distance us.
Right.
When right now, especially, it's even more important for us to have our bonds strong and for us to stick together and be able to support each other. Can you imagine going through this already, where it's already like some added stress and some added things, where we are wanting to avoid each other? Like, that just makes it worse, because then every day you're just pouring fuel on the fire, and it's not like I can go to softball and you can have your 2 hours at home.
Right.
I mean, I can go walk outside, but still, like, we don't have our normal outlets that we may use. So make sure that you're paying attention to your energy and vibrations. But also, Jay keeps telling me, because I'm finding it like a little challenging as I'm transitioning from being obsessed about wanting to know what's going on to, okay, it's time to put a break on this. Because he's like, hey, babe, like, get your workout in, because reading that article, it's still going to be there and it's not doing anything to serve you.
Right.
Because, it's been like my curiosity has been so picked by this. And once again, I feel like for me, it's like I'm looking for answers, and answers that aren't there. I feel like for now I have enough of an answer, whether I like it or not, where it's like, stay your ass at home,
chill out
for
chill out.
a period of time, just chill out. And I feel like that's my answer for now, because there's really no other answer.
Right.
For now, right? And if anything big hits, I'm going to hear about it.
Right.
Like if they go, oh my God, the quarantine and the social distancing, guess what? You guys did such a great job. Tomorrow it's off. Like I would hear about that.
Right.
I don't need to be glued, right? Or
and definitely, like, even if you were off social media, guaranteed you would get a couple of texts or phone calls. So you would find out.
You would know. So it's not necessary to be so plugged in. Like I'm finding myself being like, oh my God, I'm kind of getting annoyed by it. I kind of want to take a break off of social media. But the reason we're not going to is because we want to be able to provide, positivity and encouragement. And we've even been talking about different ways that we can support, whether it's going live more frequently or providing different tools and resources. Like we're talking about different ways. So if there's ways that you feel like we can help, send us messages or comment on this live or wherever you feel comfortable. And then we will definitely look into them, because we want to be able to be that resource to let you know you're not alone, but also like help give you hope.
Right.
Because in times of in storms, right? In times of things that go wrong, if you think about things that have gone wrong in your life or things that haven't been so nice to go through, there's always something magical that comes out of them. There's always something positive that comes out of them, especially if you're willing to focus and look at the silver lining. There's always a learning we get from them. There's always if you get laid off from a job, there's always something greater for you on the other side.
Right.
And so this is a perfect example where we can look for and find the gems, because if you stay in the higher vibrations of love and hope and all of that and happiness, and if you stay there, it's going to help you see all of those signs and things all around you. And even though that there's some crazy freaky things going on right now, it's like you're aware, but you've got to stay in that positive zone.
In the grand scheme of things, man, this is just a bookmark in history. This is what this is. This is a bookmark in history. We're living through history right now, and you can't get caught up in the fear, man. You can't. You need to, like, if you are fearful, note it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, fear, I see you. And this is something I've learned to do, and something I've told Jen to do. Like when stuff pops up, because usually we react to certain emotions. Either it's a emotion of scarcity, whatever. It's something that we have attached to that emotion. And so, like, when those emotions pop up, don't run for those emotions. Just stop. Say, hey, emotion, I notice you're here. Welcome to the party. Do you have a point for being here? Do you have a reason? And then if your reason is valid, enjoy. But if not, if you have no purpose here, I'm going to need you to leave. And that's what it is. And if there is a point for you to be experiencing that emotion for the time, experience it. And then move on. But if you find yourself experiencing emotion that like doesn't serve you for the situation, stop. Like, what does being afraid and being anxious and being worried doing for you right now? Number one, it's lowering your immune system. Yep. Something you don't want to do
ever, but especially right now.
Right.
Yeah. Was that a period?
Yeah, it was a period.
That totally didn't seem like it was a period.
It was a period.
So I was going to share something. I pull oracle cards for myself, sometimes daily and sometimes weekly, for inspiration. And the one I pulled for today, I really wanted to share. And it's the Parrot Spirit. And what I liked about this card that I pulled today is it's talking about watching your words and being aware of what it is that you're saying to yourself and others, and being mindful of beliefs that you've internalized. I feel like right now, since we're looking for answers and since there's so much uncertainty, we're a little more open to different beliefs and things as we're searching, right? And just be mindful of what it is that you're internalizing. And it's everything we've been talking about. Like, is there certain fear or beliefs or things that you're internalizing that are not serving you? And, do they align with your integrity, who you are? Do they support you? And just be mindful of what words you're using to yourself when you're journaling, social media,
to other people,
to your loved ones. I mean, that's really the message. And to me, it just really lined up with every single thing that we've been talking about.
I like the parrot card too. It's a pretty card.
It is a very nice, I'll share it again. And if you guys haven't, if you're listening in, this is from the Spirit Animal Oracle. So we love animals and we like when they give us messages. And even if you don't believe in Oracle cards, I think this is still a really powerful reminder. So if you don't believe in Oracle cards, just know that this is still a very powerful message, regardless of how it was delivered.
Right.
This has just happened to be the way that I tapped into the message, and it's still here for you to. All right. So, I mean, that's really been the thing. We've been focusing on.
Your life has to continue.
Yeah.
This is a temporary inconvenience, guys.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what this is. It's a temporary inconvenience, but your life cannot stop. You have to find ways to love has not been canceled. Yeah. You know, laughter has not been canceled. Quality time with loved ones has not been canceled. Music is still around. Books are still around. TV is still around for now. And you can still get out in nature. There's still things you can do. But right now, this is just a temporary inconvenience. That's all it is.
Yeah. And just remember and come back to this and share this with other people, because one, you're not alone. Okay, we're all in this together. And two, remember some of these things and try to give yourself some kind of grounding with a routine that supports you.
Right.
A routine that supports you, things that are going to lift you up, positive sayings, positive YouTubes, meditation, yoga, workout, like whatever the things are that can give you a good grounding and routine.
Right.
That way you can look forward to those things and they can set the tone for your day. And I'll tell you that I would say one of the worst things you can do, especially right now, is wake up and look right at all of this news. Anyways, right? Like we all have done it, where you wake up and you look at Facebook. I'm not talking about now, I'm talking about normal.
Yeah, just in general.
Okay, and then you're looking at Facebook and it sets the tone for your day. Like now more than ever.
Yeah, don't.
Do not get up and look right away to see what's happened with the news. Like set the tone with some energy that's going to serve you throughout the day.
Yeah.
And still tune in because you need to know what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
But just limit the amount of tuning in that you do instead of it. Because have you noticed, like when you were, like at least for me early on, I would just be looking and I'd be digging and I'd be reading. And then like hours went by. Oops.
Right.
And then you feel like crap when you're done and you're not inspired to do the things that make you feel good.
Right.
And remember, the energy that you have attracts other like energies of that frequency to you. So if you're in a scared, anxious, worried, fear-based energy, it's going to attract other people and things who are in that energy to you. If you're in a love, positive, happy, like higher vibrational energies, it's going to attract those things to you as well.
Don't stress over the things you have no control over. I know that's easier said than done, but focus on the things you can control. You can control your own reactions. You can control how you want to show up in this situation for other people. That's what you can't control.
Yeah, Monique said it's a perfect opportunity to learn something about yourself.
You can't control when someone's going to have an answer for this.
Mm-hmm.
No point in stressing it. You can't control what your state's government is doing for this particular situation. You can control how you react to those situations. So don't stress over anything you cannot control.
Yeah. And we love you guys and we're here for you. So let us know how we can support you, how we can continue to bring you positivity, encouragement, enlightenment, support, whatever that is. Any ideas, we're open to exploring and discussing. We will see you soon. Have a great day, guys. Stay positive, stay high energy. Toodles. That's his new thing. Toodles.